Hey there, this is LA Calling, and you're watching Brutally Delicious with Bruce Moore.
Hey, welcome to Brutally Delicious. I'm Bruce Moore. Today we're in the kitchen with the GoAround. If you stay tuned, we're going to see what they have cooked up for us today. Hey, welcome guys.
Hey, what's up, man?
Thanks for joining us today. You want to introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Anthony, and I play keyboards and sing backup vocals. I'm Alex, sing and play guitar.
Perfect. I know you're from Philadelphia and you guys are on the road right now and you're playing tonight up north of here. I appreciate you stopping by. What do you have cooked up for us today?
This is Spicy Mango Tuna Salad.
Spicy Mango Tuna Salad. That sounds delicious. So if you want to go ahead and get started, we can start cutting things up and then I'll just grill you with some questions.
Alright, sounds good.
Alright, so how do we get started?
You start cutting up the mangoes, I'll start cutting up the peppers and
Okay. I'm going to scoot over here.
Cool. So,
And while you're cutting, we'll go ahead and start talking to you. Your new record, restating the question. Now that it's out, how do you feel about it? Are you satisfied with the outcome?
yeah, we're really happy with it actually. The reason it's called Restating the Question is because we had an album out before called Life that had most of the same songs on it. And we re-recorded it because we weren't happy with it. So we're actually extra happy with it now. So
is it the same songs? You just kind of just went in and took it down to bare bones and started again?
Yeah, and we pretty much completely discontinued our old album, which was called Lifeboat. So, this is exactly what we wanted it to be. We have a little more recording experience now, a lot more playing experience.
Right.
So the songs are what we wanted out of them now. They sound how we wanted them to. Our performance skills are up to par with what we had pictured originally.
What's your writing process like? Do you guys all write together, or is it more the efforts of one particular member of the band?
I write like the tune and the lyrics and things like that, mostly by myself, because it's kind of a personal process for me. It's very emotional, and it's like sort of wearing my heart on my sleeve. I don't like to do it with other people around.
Right.
Although Anthony and other people have witnessed the moments of it, I suppose. but then when we come together and make the songs for the band, Anthony comes up with, why don't we change the chords right here? Why don't we change the rhythm right here?
Right.
He changes the arrangement. So to say that I write everything myself would be a lie, but I write the bones of the song, and then we come together to fancy it up.
All right, well, considering that you're writing the bones of the song, when you're writing, are you writing like with the live setting in mind of how the song's going to come across on stage, or are you writing the song just for the song's sake?
It's a little tough to answer that and say that it's exactly one or the other. I initially always start writing because there's something in my mind or on my heart that's bugging me, or that's exciting me, or whatever, just something emotional. So for the song's sake is always how it starts. But in the writing process, musically, if it's starting to feel boring or something that I don't think people would like, or that I personally don't enjoy playing, or I don't think is exciting, then I definitely start going more for what it's going to sound like live.
Okay.
It's a balance of both.
Okay. Tracks on restating the question that are personal favorites, that good stories behind?
Good stories. Let's see.
I know you said they're all personal and close to your heart, but anything you can share with us?
Well, I can share anything with you. There's not necessarily anything terribly exciting about the backstory to any of them, but they are all very personal. Sort of the entire purpose of the album. We called it Restating the Question, and what we tried to do to match that was we ended the album with a question. that we felt summed up what all of the songs were about. So the last line in the entire album is in a song called Amber Skies. It's everyone seems out of place, have we been looking for the same thing? And that's kind of the point, is the whole album is sort of a soul-searching type of thing where have we been searching for the same thing is in my idea. Yes, everybody's searching for happiness, they want to know who they are, they want to know what they stand for. And you know, every song on the album in a different way touches on that search for what makes you happy and what makes you who you are.
That was kind of leads me into my next question, and you may have just covered it, but is there a message or something you want your fans to walk away with after listening to the record?
Yeah, it's one of those records that's supposed to prompt people to ask themselves questions about themselves, and hopefully to seek and find those answers. So the idea is that when somebody's done listening to our album, they almost are able to discover, you know, something about themselves.
So some thought-provoking.
Which is what happens to me when I write the songs. You know, I'm wondering when I'm writing these songs. You know, there's "Their Love Is Like Glass," which is a song about romance, and it makes me think about, you know, my romantic life. And then
right.
When I Hit the Bottom, which is a song about dealing with depression, and I wrote it at a time when I was dealing with that, and that writing that song helped me to come out of it, and I hope it'll help someone else to come out of it. Iran is a song about, you know, friendships and valuing the people in your life, and not just feeling it, but saying it, and stuff like that, and all of those things that I hope that people are able to analyze and think about how it applies to their own lives.
Okay.
So,
all right. Now we're making it here. We're just gonna go ahead and, for those watching at home, we're just dicing up some peppers and some mangoes. Are you gonna use the full 2?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Make it nice and fruity.
All right. So you guys have done some touring you've been out on the road. Do you have any strange or interesting stories from the road you could share with us? Keeping in mind that it's PG-13. I know there are probably tons of them otherwise, but keeping in mind it's a PG-13 audience. Any strange or interesting stories?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how much people would find this interesting, but the reason that the band is only the 2 of us is because of the number of issues that we've had with past band members.
Right.
So there have been lots of inappropriate freakouts.
Oh, really?
And things like that.
You know what I've heard?
At venues in front of people who run
in the venues.
In front of people who promote the shows and own the venues, and you know, those places we're not allowed to come back to.
Right.
Things like that.
Gotcha. I mean, I've heard that, you know, from doing interviews and stuff that I do with my other stuff, I've heard that, I mean, being on road is not the easiest thing in the world. It's not for everybody. I mean, I've heard people like freaking out on buses because they can't be out on the road that long, or, you know, being away from home that long. How do you guys deal with that kind of stuff when you're out for an extended period of time? Is it difficult, or?
Well, honestly, we both like driving and being on the road because it's thought-provoking, and as songwriters, it's, you know, thinking that
right.
that provokes all of our music. So we enjoy it, but there are people in the band, you know, who aren't as interested in just sitting and thinking and reflecting and whatever.
Right.
And there are definitely times when people get antsy and
I imagine
angry.
600, 800 mile drive every other day. That's got to be.
And people, you know, there are definitely some fights. Most of them not physical, but every once in a while it gets close.
And then you're locked in the van with that person, and you got to play another 30 shows.
You're stuck in a 4-foot space with 8 people.
Okay.
But I mean, we haven't been on any extensive tours yet, although we do plan on it.
Right.
But we've done, you know, small hops.
Yeah.
Things of the sort.
Okay. You guys are playing here in Northern Virginia. That's a one-off, or you got other things?
This particular one is a one-off. Yeah, we're playing at the Jam and Java just because we wanted to, and we have some friends out in the area who we were hoping to bring some friends out. And we're slowly trying to build our fan base. It's a new process for us. We haven't been playing together for that long with the people who are in our band now.
Right.
So it's we're really starting from scratch.
What's the I'm sure there's a meaning, but what's the meaning behind the name of the band, the GoAround?
The GoAround, I've been into airplanes and flying and stuff ever since I was a little kid.
Do you fly yourself?
I do, yeah. My grandpa's been taking me to air shows and stuff like that, you know, for as long as I can remember. And GoAround is a term for pilots when they're flying and for one reason or another. It doesn't necessarily mean they messed anything up, but for one reason or another, during a landing, they decide to go back up and go around and to abort the landing.
Gotcha.
So
you actually fly? I mean, you got your pilot's license?
I'm actually testing for it in like a month.
That's pretty crazy.
This is pretty cool, I guess.
That's really crazy. So that's the small planes?
Small planes right now. I hope to work my way up.
So when you guys are on the road,
license
you don't really need to be on the road. You can just take everybody in the Cessna.
Eventually, that's the goal. I'm not a fan of Cessnas because they got the high wings. I like the.
And the only reason I said Cessna is probably because that's the only plane, the small plane that I know of at all.
I like the planes with the wings on the bottom. They're sportier looking. They're faster.
Right.
You know.
That's pretty wild. Like, who'd you say is your grandfather?
Yeah.
Is he a pilot as well?
You know what's funny is he's not, but he was in the Navy and he was a crew member on the plane.
Right.
And even though he never got his license, he always says that that's his biggest regret. He's not getting his pilot's license.
Right.
But even though he never got his license, he always went to air shows. He always.
But you'll be able to take him up in a plane.
Yeah, he made me promise him that he would be the first one I took up when I got my license.
That's pretty cool.
Which, even if he didn't make me, I probably would have been that
right.
way anyway.
Right. You shot a video, right?
Yes, sir.
What song you shoot for?
Her Love Is Like Glass.
How did that go?
The video shoot went awesome. We're working with David Adiogun, who shot a friend of ours music video, so we liked the way it came out, so we asked him about doing one of ours.
So, sort of a concept video?
Yeah, and I don't want to give too much of it away, but the song is Her Love Is Like Glass, and we decided to take it sort of literally for the video shoot.
Okay.
So we've been collecting items made of glass from people who listen to us online. They've been, sending them in from family members, and we've been collecting a little bit of them on our own. So we're building a part of the set, out of glass items.
Right. Oh, really?
And I guess as one might have speculated or hoped, the idea is that they get destroyed at the end.
Right. Shattered glass everywhere. When is it due for release?
We're shooting for the first or second week of January, so
okay.
In the next couple of weeks we'll be figuring out the exactly where our release show is going to be.
Right.
And it'll be announced shortly.
Okay, cool.
So,
well, let's give fans a chance to get to know you a little bit better. What would fans be surprised to find on your iPods?
Oh man,
they'd
be full of all kinds of gems.
They'd probably be surprised by just about everything on my iPod.
Really?
Because we're kind of, pop rock mix, and I guess people would assume you listen to what you play.
I've found that's not even remotely close. I mean, everybody listens to. We get all these black metal, death metal guys in here, and they're listening to classical or yodeling or something completely separate from what they've got going on.
Yeah, but the difference between the things on my iPod, like compared to one another, is definitely pretty far. I mean, in my top 25 most played, my number one most played song is "White Flag" by Dido right now. But in my top 25, I've got the Backstreet Boys, and I've got Under Oath.
Okay, so you got
the
crazy mix, yeah.
Yeah, and then one of my favorite things to listen to is Yo-Yo Ma's recording of the Cello Suites. I think is one of the prettiest things. I listen to it when I shower and when I sleep.
I imagine on long drives, that's probably nice too, through deserts or whatever.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it was like $7 on iTunes, and it's like 4 hours worth of a single cello playing some of the prettiest music ever.
What about yourself, Anthony?
I have a pretty eclectic taste as well. I probably lean towards more like classic rock. Like I love the Beatles. I know it's kind of cliche to say, but they're my favorite. And then
everyone,
Led Zeppelin, another one everybody loves.
Right.
But yeah, classic rock stuff for me.
So along those same lines, you were stranded on a desert island.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming you had a solo-powered CD player, you could only have 3 CDs for the rest of your lives. What would they be?
3 CDs for the rest of my life. That would be hype.
That's a hard one, but...
Alright, well I would take probably Abbey Road.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And Switch What's Nothing Is Sound. And the last one, that's a tough one. Probably should bring
There's so many good ones, but
probably should bring something heavier along too, so I'm covering all my bases.
so a little under rotating.
So no, not under oath, I don't think. Oh man, probably. As people will laugh at me for this one, but probably POD Satellite.
Okay.
Love that album.
Maybe Audio Slave.
Oh yeah, no, take that one out. Yeah, let's do Audio Slave.
Slave?
Yeah, the Koshites. Or is that how you pronounce it? That's like the best album. Yeah.
What I mean, every band has their musical influences. Where do you guys draw your influences from?
I mean, I think we try to draw them from everything that we listen to. And right now, only having one album out, it's probably hard for people who listen to us to hear that. Because I listen to a lot of poppy stuff, and I listen to a lot of really heavy stuff. And our album is kind of not that heavy, and it's not that poppy.
No, it's sort of in the middle there for sure.
But our next album that we're working on right now, that we're writing for, it's gonna have songs on it that are twice as heavy as anything on our current album, but also things that are way softer. I think every artist's first album is sort of their exploration album.
Right.
And while I definitely think that that album represents us pretty well, it's definitely not the most mature piece of music that we're ever gonna make. So,
Are you always writing?
Constantly, yeah. I have way more songs than are ever gonna be able to be heard from the public.
So I know this
hundreds of them in my book. So
I know restating the question is fairly new, but do you have plans of another one already?
oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Actually, the reason it's been taking us so long is because there's so many songs we're arguing about which ones to use.
Really?
We've gotten narrowed down to about like 15, but that still might be a little much.
Yeah, so my thing is, there's plenty of long albums. Even Justin Timberlake just put out the 2020 Experience, which altogether is 20 songs, but I like to be able to sit down and listen to an album in one reasonably timed sitting.
Right.
So, and for me, I have a half an hour drive each way to work, and that's usually an entire album between the two trips. The way there you listen to half, the way back you
Sure,
listen to
about
half.
15 minutes, 45 minutes, 15 minutes.
Pretty
right?
much listen to an album a day. So
Right. Okay.
and I like to be able to do that in one sitting, and I don't want our album to be something you can't do that with.
Right. Okay. I think it's hard sometimes you lose your attention span too if you got too much going on.
Yeah.
Too long of a.
Absolutely, yeah. So what I'm hoping to do is throw in a little bit more extra stuff this time that wasn't in the last one, like interludes and transitions.
Right.
From one song into the next. So I think 11 songs with a good amount of fun transitions and things in between would be perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw Roger Waters play The Wall all the way through live, and I think that influenced us a lot too. We liked how they did a lot of repeating of themes and how a lot of the tracks just flowed one into the other, and so I think we're aiming for some of that.
I love how the vocal part of We Don't Need No Education is a guitar part later on in the album, in another song and stuff like that.
That's
we
a
want
genius record.
Oh yeah.
We want to try and incorporate some of that idea of an album and not just 12 songs.
Right.
Like something that's cohesive. I think that would be amazing.
So like a concept album of sorts.
Yeah, and a lot of the songs that we've picked for this album, were written a couple of years ago.
Right.
Coming out of high school, which is an awkward time for everybody.
Right.
And I was in the middle of dealing with a breakup, and we didn't go to college, so we kind of got thrown into the workforce by our own choice. But and the struggles that come with band members leaving and going, and there was just so much tension, not between us, but just within us. So I think this album is going to be a lot more angsty than the last one. It's got a lot more. A lot of the themes are darker.
Does that make it more aggressive, or it's still going to be?
I would definitely say it's more aggressive, but we're both optimistic, happy people. So I don't want anyone to think that the album's going to be
Dark, right?
dark, like in an angry sense, like depressing.
Right.
Depressing is not what we're going for, but the themes are a lot more serious.
Okay.
So we've also got a couple lighthearted ones on there, just to keep a good balance. And,
Right.
And I think that old fans and new fans will be pretty satisfied with
Okay.
it.
So what are we gonna add here now? We've got the mango chopped up. We've got some jalapenos, scallions, mango, and some red pepper. And you're gonna add.
I'm adding the garlic and the corn and all the.
So a little bit of what is that? About a teaspoon of crushed garlic.
Yes, sir. And let's see the lime juice here.
Just a tablespoon of lime juice.
Actually, a couple tablespoons of lime juice.
That'll give it a nice thing. That's a good blooper right there.
It's like a real lime.
Yeah. Is there a story behind this recipe? Is it?
My mom makes it all the time, and it's banging. That's about it.
That works.
Well, my mom makes the salsa, and then Alex came up with the idea to combine it with tuna, and that works. So.
Yeah, she makes it without the lettuce of the tuna, but I like it as a salad.
Okay, so for those sitting at home, if you want to leave out the lettuce and tuna, you can make it'd be a good salsa with chips or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what the recipe was originally for.
Gotcha. So we just modified it to make it more beefy.
I guess so.
Yes, sir.
All right. Got a little bit of red wine vinegar. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Some crazy aromas going on here. We need that smell-o-vision stuff.
Yeah,
A couple years away from it, but we're sending out scratch and sniff cards with the video.
Yeah.
All the onions in there making my eyes water.
Pretty wonderful though.
Yeah, I love it. One short of lime.
That's all right. Yeah, nice bit of intro. So while you're still doing that, sticking with let fans get to know you a little bit better. If you were a superhero, who would it be and why?
Oh man. Yeah, I feel like that's one of the most common questions, but I've never been asked it before.
There you go. There's always a first, right?
Is it stereotypical to say that I would be Superman just because he's kind of?
It's probably about 75% of the people come in here and say Superman. I don't know if it's because that's the most. Pops the most into your head. Or,
Yeah, but I mean, think about him compared to other superheroes, though. I mean, he can fly, and he's super strong, and he's got lasers for eyes when he wants it.
True.
I mean, it's like. He pretty much, I mean, he's got a lot of the other superheroes beat by a lot. But it's also like, maybe it's unreasonable. I mean, not that being a superhero is a reasonable idea.
No.
You know, I think
more practically, Batman is the man, you know, because he's just smart.
He's got all the toys.
But he's a regular dude.
Yeah,
So it's actually sort of plausible to be Batman.
But he's got a lot of cool toys.
Right.
Yeah.
He's got all the toys.
If we got the money, you can be Batman.
I think that I would have the power to like freeze time, right? Because I feel like there's so much that you could do, and you could probably find a way to beat Superman too. You know, right before he pummels you.
There you go. I'm gonna interrupt you for 1 second. What are we adding here?
I'm adding salt and pepper at this point.
Okay. So about a teaspoon salt.
1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper.
So I didn't mean to interrupt you. So
Oh no, that's fine. I just feel like, you know, in any situation, you just
be able to do whatever you wanted, right?
Yeah.
All right.
And then I'm going to add the entire lot of corn here.
Okay, so that's here. It's about a can or
1 bag of frozen corn, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Tuna at this point.
And here we just use the can of tuna.
Yeah, just 1
In this
can.
case, I've got packed in water, but I guess you could use anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's normally what I do at home.
Now we're back in. You've gone ahead and added the tuna. We mix it all up with a little bit of olive oil.
Yes, sir.
At this point, you want to make sure your hands are definitely
Washed.
I'm a testament to you washing your hands before we started, so that's wonderful. I know you guys are pretty active online with your fans. If fans want to get hold of you, where can they find you?
They can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/GoAround. We frequently post pictures on Instagram and stuff because I think it's kind of a visual version of Twitter, which I think is way more interesting.
Right. But you guys are pretty active, right? I mean, fans reach out to you,
Yeah,
and get hold of you.
Absolutely, and also at thegoaround.com. I mean, all our videos and music and stuff like that's on there. Email addresses, you know, if people want us to come play wherever, we're pretty open for anything.
Right. Okay.
So,
All right. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and plate this,
That's
and
about
then
it.
we'll give it a shot. favorite part of the show, the eating. It's kind of the reason I have you guys come in. Not only do I get to meet good people, but I have them cook for me as well. So if you're ready, we can go ahead and give this a shot. It looks pretty fantastic.
Cool. I'm digging
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Simple, but quite tasty. Actually, tangy. The lime just gives a nice tang to it. I love it, man. Thank you for coming out. I appreciate it.
it. Thanks for having us.
Good luck with the rest of the tour. Good luck with the album.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for everything, man. I appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Let's go.
Cool.